Hello, I'm Charles Cadell. Welcome to K12Press. Today we're going to do a quick video tutorial on basic page building. Just how to get pages built, how to get content on the pages, just a quick look at the Divi Builder, the very basic of basic stuff here. So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it because believe me, this is just the tip of the iceberg and we can go as deep as you want to go in Divi. But this will be the general how to edit a page, create a page. Let's start by going over here to the XYZ Academy demo site, and you know what? I've created a page under finance here that is basically a blank page. So welcome to financial services. So financial services, that's the page title here, and if we go into the back end of this, we can go and click Enable Visual Builder. And we can take a look at what this looks like. So when you enable the Visual Builder, you'll see the little spinning dots where the page is loading and all the visual blocks. You have this highlighted green area as your header. You have a highlighted green area as your footer. What we want to focus on is everything in between here. Everything that when we highlight it has this little section. Now, most pages just have this one section, but that does not mean all pages are just one section. So this little blue box is a section of information and data. Now what I did was load from the library a page that has this column over here on the of a menu over here on the left, and then basic body text over here on the right. You see when I hover over this section here, you see this little outlined green area. Well, that's your rows, and if you go and you look at the rows, you'll see which ones we have selected right now. We have this small little row column on the side. We have this larger column on the other side. You have all these others that you can select. You can even click the plus button and create more rows and select which rows you want to go underneath there if you want to build out a bigger page. But for the vast majority of your sub-content pages, these sub-pages, you're going to have a menu on the side, which is the sub-menu of that department or section of content that you're looking at, and you'll have the body of the content there on the right-hand column. So for this one, we have a left and a right. So this first area here, we have a little heading that says Welcome to Financial Services. This can also be a page title module. Oftentimes that's what I use. And the default page title for whatever the name of the page is what shows up here automatically. When I use templates, that is what I do the majority of the time. I will have a templated page that has the page title, so that dynamically loads for whatever page it's on, and then it has a menu here. Now this menu, you actually select the menu that you want to show. In this case, if I clicked on the gear icon, we have the menu for XYZ Finance selected, and inside that menu, which is another tutorial, you have built out these different sub-pages of the financial services department. But for the main focus of this, we're just going to look at, we've loaded this menu here. What we're going to do now is go in and populate some information on this side. So financial services, let's think about some stuff that we might want to put on here. Well, of course you want an intro paragraph. So you would create a little intro paragraph. We can go into this existing text module settings and we can create a new line and make sure that the paragraph heading is set in the WYSIWYG editor, and we can just, so introducing our financial services department. That's some great text there for now. You of course could write your own. You could have AI improve it. You'd just put that in there, but for demo purposes that works just fine. We're going to add a new block here. Take a look inside your modules and get used to Divi modules. There's a bunch of things that I use quite a bit. I use the call to action, I use the blurb, I use the button all the time. The code that will where you can actually drop in some scripts and things like that. I can show you a few tutorials on how to do that. Contact form. All these things are greatly used, but the vast majority of the time you're just going to grab a text block and you're going to drop in a text block here. But if you needed to put in things like contact cards. I think there's a people card here where you can grab a person here and you can actually fill out. In fact, that's what we'll do here. So we would pretend like John Doe is somebody that we want to enter in here, and he is the director. And drop that in. Well, that's great. You could actually pull some more information and put that in there as well. But whenever you edit these pages, you're seeing this built on the front end, or on the visual builder, as you actually see it on the front end. So then this information that we're showing here, this is actually stuff that shows. Each and every module is built the same way, that your content is this first tab here, and that's where you put the image and the text and that kind of information, and then you can style it using a design. Well, once you've picked the design and style that you want on something, there's no sense in reinventing the wheel here. You can save this module to a library if it's something that you're going to reuse on multiple pages. You can click here and you can just click this little, looks like a circle with an arrow in it, and you can add your module to the library. And you can say, hey, this module I want to call a person block. And I'm going to pretend like I did a lot with the design here. You save that sucker, and then when you want to bring it in at another time, you can come down here and say, hey, I want to actually bring in that exact same module and pretend like it's on a different page. Well, you can actually bring it in from your library here. However, if you are duplicating modules on the same page, well, you don't need to bring it in from a library. You can just click this little icon here for duplicate module, and that module will be duplicated there, and then you can go and edit the information. Now, you're looking at this and you're saying to yourself, these are great if we wanted to vertically stack all these modules, but what if we wanted to line them up into a different way, like side by side, more columns? Well, then you can click the little green plus here and create a new row. You can say, hey, you know what, we're going to create a row. Now, this is the row that we were using before. We can create a row to where we have more of those, same size. Basically keep this other side empty, because that would be the side that your navigation would pour down into. But we can drag these into that area there, and we can just drag these around. And then if we wanted to duplicate, like I was saying before, and just build out this page, we can duplicate. And you see how it has it underneath there. We'll grab the little target there and just drag it to another column. So we had one more that we wanted to do. We can do the exact same thing. We can click the duplicate, we can drag it over, and we can drop it into that column. If we wanted to delete one, that's what the trash can's for. You delete it. So you're taking a look at kind of how to build out these pages in a general sense. Bringing in your sections, which are your large blue section here. Bringing in a row, which has the defined columns inside your section, and then dropping in modules for each one of those. And I suggest you just explore modules, because there are quite a few of them. But they all work the same way. They all have a content section and a design section. And in this design section is where you define all the information about text colors and sizes, everything. If you have links, what colors you want those to sign up. Now the thing is you define that, or you have your webmaster has defined that, and then you set that up and save it in the library to where people can replicate and just pull those modules in so that you stay on brand. You keep the same look and it stays uniform. But it's fun to explore and see what you can do, because you can really do some nice stuff with the design. Now, usually less is more. I would say you don't want, drop shadows and, just too much stuff there, because it starts to get, well, not only a little unprofessional looking, but it bogs down your page load speed. And you want to keep things pretty lightweight if you can. So I would say the idea here is to get it looking good and professional. Use a template, bring in that page template, and then constantly update and refine how much information and what that looks like, and try to bring that in as a design and template across the board to stay on brand. But in a sense, when you've made changes to your website, and we can bring in a call to action here for financial services and say, hey, we want you to, give us a phone call, or, email us, or fill out this form, something like that. You have some blocks of information underneath here. This is all great. And real quick, the only design thing that I can think of that's a big design element that's on this first tab and not the second one is that background. And I think we've gone through it in other tutorials, but you can change colors, you can make it a gradient, images, you can put a gradient on top of an image, you can have a video there. all kinds of stuff. I have a global color set here that I like to use for this site. And there you go. And just show you some other things. That title text, we can say, hey, you know what? We want to make that ultra bold. And we want to make it all caps. And we want to make sure it's centered. There we go. Your title goes here. That's, in a sense, the basics of being able to edit this. And of course, whenever you go to a page and you need to make textual edits, you can just click on Enable Visual Builder. You can drop your text in, and you can edit this as needed as you're looking at it. And to save, anytime you need to save, you click the little 3 buttons at the bottom on that purple circle, and it opens up the page menu, and you click Save. This information is now saved. Now, how do we make this a template? This is what I want to be for the all the departments, or the vast majority of the departments' main home page. It's all going to follow this same thing. Well, just like before, find the little circle with the down pointing arrow, and that saves it to library. And see, this is a whole page layout. How do we want to save this layout? XYZ internal default. There we go. It's saved. Here we go. Click Save. I think we're happy with that. It looks good and generic for a demo, but it gives you guys a quick overview of the basics of building blocks of an internal web page. We'll go into a lot more detail on each of these modules and other tutorials, but for all intents and purposes, I think we're set here. As always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. K12Press on YouTube. If you're working on a project that you could use some help, there's a wealth of information here for you. So please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.